And we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome in to the first episode. Well, no, not first episode, second episode. What am I talking about? Brain, where are we at? Who am I? Oh, yeah. Hi. This is our second episode of Star Trek Adventures, The Lost Frontier. Welcome in, everybody. I am Anita. I am your GM for this evening, and I am joined by an amazing cast. We are going to get to them without further ado, starting with AJ. Tell us who you are, who you're playing.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Hoosier Kid, and I'll be playing Dr. Tix. Oh boy, this is gonna be a lot. Got my doctor's orders, and it's gonna be great. Everyone's great. Everyone's fine. We're not gonna die this time.
Amazing. Next up, we have Wasa.
Hey everyone, I'm Wasa. Find me on Twitter at WasaBookhead. I am playing Nilani Nidar, who is the pilot.
Amazing. Next, we have Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah X. Franco. I play Taru the Vulcan, also the ship's scientist, and you can find me Twitch, Twitter, all the places at Sarah X. Franco.
Hooray! And last but certainly not least, we have our ship's security officer, Milan.
Hello, I'm Milan, and I'm playing Dovum Baran tonight. And I have done no wrong in my life. This is an entire anomaly. The computer's fault, not mine. I didn't do anything.
Technically, it's a dice fault, but last time on our foray into the world of Trek, we found ourselves on a brand new ship, a Nova class, the USS Solstice. Our crew had taken its time beginning to load up on Earth in the Sol system, getting just the first little bit of its crew together along with its initial mission. The USS Raleigh has gone missing, and it is up to the crew to find out exactly what happened to the ship and its crew. Various meetings took place. Oh, the music is very loud. Let me turn that down, because I should also change that to this instead. Doot and doot. That's my fault. Thanks for telling me, B. So, we got the mission to find the USS Raleigh, to find out what happened to the ship, and of course, get the rest of your crew at Deep Space 5 before heading into the Typhon Expanse. On the way there, the ship received a distress call from another smaller passenger freighter. A few of the crew, unfortunately, met a few bad ends of the ship that they were sent to rescue. The USS, or not the USS, the Matador. So the Matador's crew that were still on board were unfortunately not able to be saved. However, everybody else managed to get out through escape pods onto a nearby M-class world. The crew of the Solstice found out that it seems like there was some sort of virus in the ship's computer. Dr. Tix narrowly escaped with some doors that were pending to crush him. And the crew put out a warning buoy, got what information they could, and then found their way back to the Solstice, saving the remaining passengers and bringing them back to their home, or to their final destination at least. However, when going into potentially research what this is and what could have possibly caused it, the what could have possibly caused it? A series of bad rolls revealed that brought aboard the ship was the black box in diagnostics, and a potential virus has now infected the ship unbeknownst to the crew. And with that, it was set to be about 2 days before you got to Deep Space 5. This has added just a little bit of time to your journey. So, crew, tell me how the passengers are being put down at a spaceport at a nearby planet. The crew is sort of beginning to start going about their business, and the captain has told the ship to redirect course to Deep Space 5. What do y'all do in the time to begin to start passing the time to get until you get to Deep Space 5?
Dovoom has a little bit of a weird thing that he does in the off time. He is wearing a blindfold and attempting to memorize the layout of the halls so that if the lights or the power to lights gets cut off, he knows exactly where to go.
Okay. Make me an insight plus security roll. Let's try this. Let's try this off the bat.
Right. Insight and security is a 14. And that is 2 successes.
Okay. 2 successes, easy enough. It was like a 1 difficulty 1 roll. You've managed to it's also a smaller ship. The crew complement of a Nova class vessel is only about 80 people, so they're fairly easy for you to get around. Fairly small. You managed to make your way through the different decks of the ship to engineering, back to your security station, to the armament, back to your quarters, up to and a couple of the younger cadets are kind of like giving you this little look as you do this. What time are you doing this at?
Probably during like the obviously there's no day night, but the later B shift where there's less people out and about. Like
the gamma shift kind of deal?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the ship's not as crowded as it normally is, but there's still like a couple of like the later the after hours lower decks crew that are just kind of like, does he normally do this? I don't know. Do you want to ask the Lieutenant Commander if he normally walks around the ship with a blindfold on? No? Okay, well then don't ask a question you don't want the answer to. Lieutenant Commander? What's with the blindfold?
Well, and I'll take it off to see. What section are they a part of?
This is like a younger engineer. You're in engineering right now.
Oh. Just familiarizing myself. In the case of an emergency, without lights, I would be able to guide and lead people down through the various sections of the ship, even if, say, our eyes have failed us. First, I'm going to learn how to map the halls, then I'll know where each of the various emergency supplies and power stations are in case I need to get a power on myself, and then I'm going to learn how to navigate the Jeffries tubes themselves.
Oh, well, if you want to tour the Jeffries tubes, we know our way all around them.
Oh, that would be very kind. I will take you up on that, Ensign...
Jeffers.
Ensign Jeffers. Nice to meet you. And then I will put the blindfold back on.
I mean, I just use a flashlight. Holds up a flashlight.
You never know when technology will fail you. Just keep walking them.
That's so ironic coming from you. Dr. Tix.
I think Tix is probably finishing up updating what they need to pick up for when they get to DS5. Because definitely from those passengers that we just dropped off, there were some scrapes and bruises that had to use some of the resources that we had.
Now, the beautiful thing about Star Trek is we are in a post-scarcity economy. Pretty much everything that you need can be synthesized using a replicator.
Cool. All right. I'm going to be doing that then. Shows my knowledge.
Hey.
And while Tix is waiting, he just has a book in his hand, just reading while waiting for the things that he needs to be synthesized.
And it's pretty quick. You go to the computer and you just say, you request the supplies verbally, and the computer does a little beep of acknowledgement, and the energy just sort of swirls, and instantaneously you've got the extra analgesics for your hyposprays. And most hyposprays are also, like, at this point, self-replicating as well. Like, they've got, like, a tiny built-in replicator that can adjust for sedatives or painkillers or that sort of thing. So it's fairly commonplace. When one of the younger crew comes in, sort of being carried under arm by another one, is sort of helping them through. Doc, you in here?
Yeah. What's going on? Right here.
We were in the turbo lift, heading down to engineering, and it just started going real fast on us. It stopped, and then it went up real fast, then it went down real fast. I put a call into engineering, and I think there might be a problem with the dampeners, but in the meantime, my friend here twisted their ankle, and I kind of hit my head a little. Could you?
Yeah, totally. Come in. Tix to ops. Can we just make sure that we get someone to that turbo lift? It seems there's like some malfunctions with that.
Meanwhile, Dovum, you're in engineering, and one of the kids on the gamma shift, acknowledge, I'll send a team over to have a look at it. Dampeners?
Seems like it.
Okay. That's weird. I swear I just replaced those. And you can see, Barn, that a small team is sort of being assembled of engineers. Jeffers, Chase, you're with me. Let's go. Jeffers, sort of
I'll
looks
take
at
you
you.
up on that tour later, Ensign.
Later, yeah. And they sort of all duck out of engineering at the same time. There's still a couple of the crew that are on call here, but yeah, that's what happened. That's pretty much it. Taru, what are you up to at this moment?
Taru would have, like, as we traveled, kept her regular routine, almost like clockwork. She does the exact same things, very repetitious and methodical in her ritual. However, given that we found this ship and it seemed odd that something just went by, scanned it, and left, Taru would perceive this as a puzzle. There's a clue or a solution here that she doesn't feel like they have discovered yet. So I think she would have been spending a lot of time poring over the passenger logs, trying to catch a pattern, see if there was something that was trying to be scanned. It would be like an itch in the back of her head. Whether or not she got anywhere is a different thing, but she would be concerned.
And there's one of the younger scientists sort of sidles up to you. Younger lieutenant, junior grade, blue science uniform. Kind of has dark hair and a tight bun. And some interesting forehead ridges. Not Klingon by any stretch of the imagination, but just a couple little ticks. A mystery to be solved?
Yes, I'm not quite sure as to why this particular vessel was chosen. If this other entity is randomly scanning ships and downloading this code, there could be other people who need help, and as such, Star Trek Command should be notified. However, if it was a targeted approach, specifically for this ship, there's something here that we're missing.
I mean, space is big. Could have just been a coincidence.
Perhaps. However, well, and she'll actually kind of tilt her head to the side as she thinks about that and furrow her brow a little bit. You could be right. But as my mentor says, where is the fun in that?
Fun. Like enjoyment?
Satisfaction. Reward for solving something, a problem, assisting others. My mentor calls this fun.
For fun. Generally, I do things for the betterment of my own knowledge.
This is also beneficial. However, I found that when I share this, what you have expressed, most people choose to disengage. I'm trying to be more likable, as to better get along with the rest of the crew.
Do you think I should try to be more likable?
I'm sure that I cannot say. Perhaps you could ask one of the other crew members. I find your services to be adequate.
I appreciate that. I'm trying to learn every day.
This is the lofty goal.
NARA.
Taru.
Nice to meet you, Taru.
It is nice to meet you as well. Confirming Mara, not Nara.
NARA, N-A-R-A.
Okay, perfect. Is there any kind of, as I'm looking into this information, is there anything that I can glean other than what we've already established in our previous engagement?
For sure. Make me an insight plus science roll.
I would love to think. Insight plus science is pretty good. That is 2 successes.
So it was a difficulty 2, so you hit the threshold. You're trying to find out a little bit more information about from the ship's logs, I guess is what you're sort of scanning?
Yeah, we found the ship afloat. It seemed she's looking for notable passengers or perhaps, indication beforehand of what might have happened.
No notable passengers. The trip was rather uneventful beforehand. You do notice that from the ship's logs, when the ship was scanned, there was a type of tetryon particles that could have served as a medium for an uplink to the ship's computers. And that is potentially how the virus was uploaded into the ship's systems.
She would, as she's having this conversation with Nara, that thought would strike her and she would go, actually, now that I think about it, there was that uptick in tetryon particles indicating that upload into the computer system. I'm unfamiliar with this technology. However, it is possible that this might give us an indication of if we run into this in the future. Something to keep an eye out for.
It could potentially, with the proper application, you could protect against it.
Indeed. That would be the logical approach, making sure that we counter any attacks beforehand.
Who said it was an attack?
I mean, again, a valid point. However, it did lead to the crew, some losing their lives, others being in danger. I can't imagine that it was anything other than a malicious intent, though perhaps it was simply just a being existing. Apologies.
Oh, no apologies necessary.
Perhaps I should go relax.
I'll take care of things from here.
Thank you. It is appreciated. Have a nice day. And Taru will kind of tidy up her station and go to the ship's like gym or whatever and take a walk on the track to relax.
Easily done. You make your way to the ship's sort of. There is like a small gym that's got like a infinity sort of treadmill that you can just walk on. And there's also, you can honestly do anything within the holodeck as well. You can summon any sort of variety of exercise programs that you can do. Next, we can shift the camera from there back to the bridge of the ship, maybe a little bit later. Nilani, you are currently moving. It's pretty standard. You're at this point, your hands are on the controls mostly out of habit, that more than anything, just in case something goes wrong. Nilani, make me a. I'm going to spend a point of threat. Make me a control plus con check. This difficulty is going to be 3.
Okay. So what does that mean?
So on 2d20, you technically cannot get any higher than 2 successes unless you roll a 1, which is a crit. Or what you could do, there is a point of... just give me 1 second. Let me just turn off studio mode. There is a point of momentum in the 2 points of momentum in the pool that you can use to. Okay. Lore drop and a cursed object. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Cursed object, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is a player's going to get -2 on a roll.
Yeah, thanks, Noir.
Okay, so for this game, what I'm going to say is this is going to up this to a difficulty 4.
Okay. Tight. Uh-oh.
Or
Not
actually,
really,
no.
guys.
For this, I'm going to say that instead of a difficulty 4 roll, it's going to be a difficulty 3 roll still, but you will have a complication on a 19 or a 20.
Okay.
So what you can do is you can use a point of momentum to buy an extra die if you have a talent for that. Also, if you have any focuses that apply, it means that you can crit up to the 5 on your con roll.
Sweet.
So, say you've got a focus in starship navigation or like piloting.
Yeah.
You would be able to crit up to the number that's on your discipline.
Okay. I'm going to get that momentum.
Okay, so you're going to spend a point of momentum?
Yep.
Amazing.
If you guys are cool with that.
Oh yeah.
So grab that extra die.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is this? Con 5, 16. And does this apply as like an evasive? I got a 2 and I got a 13.
This definitely applies as sort of an evasive maneuver.
Oh, I have a focus as well in
Okay.
that.
So what's the focus in invasive maneuvers?
Yes.
Okay. So a focus means that you would on your your discipline for your con, if it's I think it's like a 5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that means that you would crit on a 1 through a 5.
Cool. So I critted on the 2
Okay, so that's 2 successes.
and I rolled a 13, which is
And
under the.
And what was the last one? The last one was failure.
Oh, I did roll that one. I rolled 2 dice.
Oh, so roll the third die because you did buy that extra die.
11.
Okay, so that's 4 successes. So that does get you that point of momentum back. Nalani, you see on your sensors that there is a large object hurtling towards you at breakneck speed. And what you do is you immediately drop the ship out of warp and begin to put the ship into like a little bit of a dive and bring it back up and level. Meanwhile, Havar at the op station. Lieutenant? What's the matter? Why did we drop the ship out of warp?
Do you not see? Did you see the? What was it again? Sorry.
On your sensors, there was a large object hurtling towards you.
Check the sensors, is it Lieutenant? I thought I saw something hurtling towards us.
Oh my god, Noir, thank you for naming an NPC Ensign Cheeks. Ensign Cheeks? Amazing. Okay. I'm checking my sensors. I had them up at the same time you did. I don't see any such object. And Havar puts on the view screen. Is going to do a quick little puts up on the view screen. There's nothing up there, and the starfield is empty.
That's weird. Is there a possibility for us to look at, like, is there a recording of the sensors or anything like that for what I saw?
And Havar walks over to your station and real quickly rolled a 20. Which the GM is going to use to bank a point of threat. And there is I can see in your logs that there's something there, and Havar will hop up to the to a secondary station and check the sensors, double check the sensors again. There doesn't seem to be anything out there. A false flag in the system is unlikely, but it seems like that would be what we're dealing with. Fascinating.
Concerning. We might need to talk to a couple of people just to see what's going on.
At that point, you can see that that Captain Valen comes out of the ready room. What's the problem? Why have we dropped out of warp?
Glitch in the system. We encountered something. It looks like we were about to collide with something large out there, and appears to be only on my board. But
Alright.
when we double checked, yeah.
Okay. Bridge to engineering? And you can hear Savon's comment on over the intercom. Savon here, go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to run a level 1 diagnostic on the ship's computer system. It appears that we're having some technical hiccups. Some sensor ghosts are popping up on our scanners, and to be honest, with what happened on the Matador, I would feel better safe than sorry. Savon says, yeah, I'll get a crew right on it. Ensign Shaiks, would you be able to gather a team and help sort this out? And Shaiks, Acacian, it's like, yeah, I'll get on it. Grabs a utility kit and begins to head into the Jeffries tubes. Thank you, Noir. Thank you for this gift.
God.
I can die happy. Why are you laughing, AJ?
Nothing. It's great. It's great. I'm happy you're happy, Noir.
So, the cat in the yellow engineering uniform has crawled into the Jeffries tubes. Anyways. I brought this on myself. Lieutenant Nadan, do you want to... hate to bring this... I hate to do this, but do you want to get us back up to warp?
Yeah. Sure, let's get back in there.
Damn it, more. For the VOD later, where it is uploaded and no one can actually see the chat, Ensign Clappin and Ensign Shaiks never go anywhere together.
It's true.
Without each other. It's true.
They seem rather fond of each other's company.
They are quite fond of each other's company. Anyways. I love you all. I love you all so much. The crew of you, you bring the ship back up to warp. Captain to senior staff, I think we need to have a meeting. Meet in the ready room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Happy that.
Acknowledged.
Till out. And the group of you, the camera sort of shifts to the situation room where you all find yourselves. The captain's sort of sitting at the front of the desk. So, run by what happened on the Matador again, real quick.
We arrived on the Matador. Decided to split up to try to see what was going on. We checked the engine room while Lieutenant True, Lieutenant Commander Baran, and Lieutenant Commander Nidan. I realized I was not doing my voice the whole entire time.
Sure were.
They
There's our Morty.
checked out the bridge while Well, um, I keep on forgetting the engineer's name.
Savan.
Well, myself and Savan went over to the engine room to check out what was going on. Uh, we found on the computer logs in the logs that the atmosphere controls were alternated so that there was no oxygen within the ship. With a couple of, from what we understand, there were some people that were evacuated before and alerted before the oxygen was depleted. So the rest of the passengers got off the ship, but not the captain, the engineer, or the pilot.
Okay. So,
The doctor's report is correct. It seems that a malicious code, or perhaps aggressive code, was transported into the ship as they traveled through space to their destination. Something reached out and scanned them. I'm assuming that that is when the exchange occurred. However, there seems to be a anomaly with the timeline of events that occurred. How is it possible that there were ship members who were asphyxiating, and yet others were able to get off? According to the ship's logs from the remaining crew members, the sequence of events does not correlate.
it's not congruent?
Correct.
Okay.
Could it be possible that perhaps it targeted or maybe couldn't fully access the entire ship's systems at the same time, and only part of the ship was suffering these life support systems failures?
I believe this would suggest that parts of the ship's computer were more sophisticated than others, keeping parts of the ship secure. I didn't receive any indication of this being the case.
Savan just sort of is listening to all this. The Matador had those old style bulkheads that could seal off. It's possible that those in engineering and those on the bridge got sealed in while the oxygen was siphoned.
That would imply an almost direct intent to kill just those aboard the bridge, then.
It's interesting. I morbidly, I guess. Was engineering or the captain up to something?
It's unclear.
We did download their personal logs, but haven't gone through them because they're personal. With your order, Captain, we could review them.
Make it so.
Savan, I've been meaning to speak with you as well. I believe that we should check the computers for our own level of interference. It seems that there was an influx of tetrion particles in their computers' logs prior to the attack. Or, as I've been informed by a fellow shipmate, the anomaly. I've been advised to not use such aggressive language, as it makes an assumption.
That is a good point. You don't want to make assumptions. I mean, we could be assuming malicious intent when it could just be an entity that's learning.
Correct.
If it was a Tetrion scan that uploaded the virus into the system, it could be some sort of retrovirus that learns as it adapts.
I could research my sources for viral entities.
Computer viruses are a little different than physical ones, Doc, but I mean, by all means.
There's got to be some relation.
I, for one, think that the doctor's perspective on this matter would be beneficial.
Well, if you think it's beneficial, Charu, then I trust your judgment.
Lieutenant Commander Nadan?
Hmm?
I heard a report earlier that there were ghosts on the scan. This is similar to what the Matador experienced.
Yeah, you may have noticed that we dropped out of warp for a moment. Our sensors indicated that there was a object that was on a collision course with us. So did what I could to evade it, and turns out that it wasn't there.
Do you have any insight into this matter? Perhaps a perspective or opinion that might enlighten the situation?
I'm a little worried that downloading this, the information from the Matador may have provided an entry point for what was on the Matador to hear. As you were saying, it didn't really add up, the timing of everything. How did we get a distress signal when there was no one on the ship? Maybe it was trying to find another way to jump on another ship so it can just, I guess, keep hopping over till it gets to where it wants to.
Doctor, would this be something that a typical virus would do?
Well, a lot of viruses would like to take over the host sense of self. But if this is a entity in which this virus or viral entity that we are referring to is just trying to get to where it's going, it's quite possible that um it's quite possible that it's essentially ship hopping. So it's actually quite possible that the reason why that when we looked through the logs that ship didn't just scan without warning, it's possible that other ship already was vacated of life forms and that this viral entity had already taken over that whole ship.
Siobhan sort of goes up to one of the screens and taps a few things. This is the visual log from the Matador before this, whatever it is, took hold. And you can see this ship, not really a ship, it looks more like a satellite. Initial scans from the Matador showed that the vessel was unmanned, unoccupied. It looked like some kind of satellite rather than an actual vessel. No life support, no crew quarters, nothing, and it's quite small. But it's scanned with some sort of, now that Taru has done that research, some sort of Tetrion beam. It scanned the Matador, and it continued on its way. The Matador made a note of it in the ship's logs, and at that point, Sovan presses a button. Give me 1 second here. Allow me to just do a quick purge into my docs where I have notes on this. Stand by.
Well, it's probably safe to say that we should probably scan ourselves, our own, the SS Solstice for USS Solstice for Tetrion particles if our Tetrion particles have increased.
The Tetrion scan came from the satellite, but we've received no such transmission or upload from there. And Savan will press a button. Captain's log, USS Solstice, Captain Keenan in command. We just had a run-in with some sort of strange satellite entity. I don't know what it was. Scanned us with some sort of high-field tetrion beam, and then took off. Kex wanted us to shoot it out of the sky, but I told them to think better of it, because you don't know how those things are going to react. You don't go shooting random things. As far as we know, no damage was done, but ship systems have been acting a little weird lately. Doors aren't quite responding the way they should. Gravity was a little lighter on one of the decks. A couple of the passengers complained. But we're still on course. Still be about another 4 days yet before we hit to Rixus 3. I'll keep you posted on anything else that comes up. End log.
Well, if this viral entity is, so to say, ship hopping and trying to get somewhere, is there any indication that it changed the ship's course at any point?
To that, Savan sort of pops up the astro navigation logs. No changes in course.
Captain, if the first thing that this probe or whatever saw was a ship potentially considering firing at it, of course it might respond hostilely in kind. In that case, it would make sense that it would attempt. Maybe we're thinking about this wrong. Maybe this virus is intended to be a boarding party of some kind.
Boarding party? Explain.
Well, there's no crew quarters. There's no life support. But you and I both know this is a big, big quadrant. Isn't it hypothetically possible that there could be beings that are entirely digital? We've made artificial intelligence ourselves.
I mean, the Enterprise has had some run-ins with AI that formed themselves over the course of a day, and one infected their ship and then died off like a mayfly.
Maybe we're not dealing with as much a mayfly, but more like a... Oh, what's that Earth species? Tapeworms?
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
Something more evolved. I also wonder, perhaps it's not that this virus has a destination, more... I'm no immunologist, however, could it be possible it's just trying to increase in number? Survival, spreading out across the universe.
Survival.
So we're taking it to a whole bunch of new hosts over on Deep Space 5.
There's a lot of ships that go through Deep Space 5.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend we put the ship at full stop, run a complete diagnostic of the ship's computer core, and Savan, I would feel more comfortable if we make a complete stop, do a full overhaul of the ship's computer core, see what we can do to flush this thing out of our system, and just who cares where it came from? Just purge it.
I believe that determining the origin of the virus might better educate us on its purpose.
It's
Do we also have a time frame for how long it was on the Matador?
Logs say, so it was going to be another 3 days before they hit the destination. They were, this last week, and then pulls up the star date on the log for the encounter. And you can actually see the visual scan of this ship coming in. The sort of blue wave that overtook the Matador sensors. And then it just went to warp.
Is there any indicating um, anything? Any indications? Any symbols that we could recognize on this satellite that just warped by?
Savan just sort of looks at the screen, pauses it. Does anyone here? Let's see. Ooh. Havar, who's been sort of like steepled fingers listening this entire time, is going to do a quick little roll.
I was about to say, Havar, you're on thin ice. You've been messing up.
It was not a 20. It was a
Fucking
9
thin ice, Havar.
and a 1.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right, cool, Havar. You're
with
back
a
on.
focus
You're back
on
up.
with a
Yeah.
focus on sensor imaging. Chef's kiss. Replay time index 40237. And Savan pulls it up on the screen. It looks like there's some sort of mark on the side of the increase. And the there's a set of 4 symbols on the side. Computer, extrapolate. And the 4 symbols increase as well, and the side of the thing continues to grow. And there's 4 larger symbols, and then there's a series of alien writing on the side of the vessel. Like each one of the symbols is a word.
I have a focus in linguistics.
For sure.
Would it be possible for me to kind of try and take a closer look at that?
Absolutely. Make me a reason plus science roll. This one is going to be a difficulty 4, however. But with your focus in linguistics, it means that you can crit on a 5 or below.
Okay.
And we do have some
no.
momentum that you can spend.
I would like, if it's okay with everybody, I would love to try and spend one of those momentum.
Yeah. I was going to ask if there's anything I can do to help, because I'm a being of many talents.
Ooh.
So I don't know if I can assist that in some way.
So let me just grab my cheat sheet, because there's a number of things that you can do with momentum.
Yeah, can the PC may be assisted through teamwork, I'm seeing.
So this is for an extended sort of task, which is a little different.
Okay.
However, I will say, where are we at? Now, why are you not showing up anywhere? Determination, traits, teamwork, tasks, extended tasks. Okay, so momentum can be used to purchase extra die. Let's see. Okay, so Tix, you can. What was the thing that you have that can?
I have the talent, being of many talents.
Okay. Can you remind me what that is?
I will look it up.
While we're at it, so you're going to buy that extra point of momentum for
Yes. So I'm okay to roll 3d20 just to start. Okay.
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay. It is not great.
Is not looking great.
No. I have a 20 and then one success. I have a 20, a 17, and a 6. I have a 16 for that roll. Pretty cool.
Okay. So, one success and a complication. Whew. At that point... Okay. I know what's gonna happen.
Oh no.
The ship goes to red alert.
Cool. Tight. Sick.
The lights go down. The ship flashes to red alert, and the captain sort of looks at you all and says, runs out to the bridge. Report. And one of the ensigns that's currently working the con right now. Siren got you. Yeah, there's the siren. The ensign that's working the con right now says, Captain, there's a Romulan vessel ahead on our sensors. And the captain sort of looks at the ensign and goes, bring it up on screen. And the screen flashes up. And there is nothing but a star field.
Oh boy.
And the ship is at a full stop. And the captain says, cancel red alert. Okay, we're going to keep the ship at full stop. I'm going to send a message to Deep Space 5 to let them know that we're going to be delayed while we try and overhaul and get rid of whatever has boarded our ship.
Captain.
Savan? Yeah.
Apologies, but
No.
might I make the recommendation that we try to avoid relying on the ship's computers for now? Perhaps using more manual processes to determine whether or not what we are seeing is truly worth believing.
That would definitely be advised, and it was quite prudent. Thank you, Lieutenant. Stick to tricorders. Stick to anything that is not wired or on secure systems if you can. Just... And... For God's sakes, Ensign. Turn on the ship's viewer before you call for red alert. And the ensign sort of goes, aye, Captain.
Oh,
Dismissed. Get to work. And Savan begins to go towards the... Oh, do I trust the turbo lift right now?
There were some issues with the turbo lift before.
Yeah, I know. And Savan runs and like opens a panel for like a Jeffries tube hatch and begins to start sighs and is like, I hate ladders, and starts climbing down.
Doctor, if I could just take a moment. Just a reminder, Bajoran family names come first, so when you're referring to me by rank, it's Lieutenant Commander Dovum, not Baran. Baran is when you're being cordial, off duty.
I will keep that in mind, Dovum.
All right. I'm going to go review these personal logs really quick.
For sure. Sovan sort of peeks their head up. Hey, Taru, you want to come help me out in engineering?
Yes, I believe that would be efficient.
Anybody else know stuff about computers?
Actually, Taru's going to look over at Nilani and raise a brow. Considering your expertise in the ship's flight patterns, perhaps you would be best equipped to alert us of any anomalies that you might see. If this is truly trying to take over the ship, I believe you might be the best and have the most precise perspective.
Yeah, I was thinking of putting my hand up for this. Know a little bit about security systems anyway, so might help.
I do not know if having your hand up will be essential for completing this task, but I trust that your expertise will guide us in this.
All right, let's go.
No, Noir. Cheeks doesn't.
Cheeks is currently occupied with other tasks.
Meanwhile, the captain has sort of pulled up the image of the satellite and is looking at it, and it's like, something about this seems familiar. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna see if the ship's archives are untouched and see if I can pull up any information that I can. I remember something about this. And we'll cut and turn and go into their ready room.
What did I glean from these personal logs?
What was the name that I gave the person that fired the shot, real quick?
Kix, I believe.
Kix. Engineer's log. Kix. There's something in our ship's computer, and every single time I try to knock it down, it just keeps changing. I thought that I had it pinned down to one section of our computer core, and then it pops up somewhere else. It's confounding. I should have shot that thing out of the sky if I had when I had the chance, and I'm gonna burn this thing out of the system if it's the last thing that I do. I think I've got a plan in mind. I'm gonna need the captain's approval. Captain's log. Captain Keenon presiding. Kix came up to me with a stupid plan. Maybe some kind of inverse pulse could burn this thing out of our system. Somehow taking the same sort of tachyon pulse, but inverting it and then sort of having it run over our entire computer system might get rid of the virus, but I don't know how much damage it's going to do to our systems in the meantime. I've set Kix to task, though. It's better than no plan, which is what I have currently, and my passengers are starting to catch on that something's up and getting a little scared. Still got 3 days.
And I will tap my comm badge. Captain, I think I figured out what... I'm using the comm badge, not the computer communicators, to be certain. I think I figured out what caused this virus to go with the nuclear option on the ship. It seems like their engineer found a potential way to burn it out of the system. it might do considerable collateral damage to our systems, but the reasoning's sound.
Take the findings to Lieutenant Taru and Savan and see what they can make of it. And if they concur, then we'll use this plan.
All right. And I will start to use the Jeffries tubes down to engineering.
Are you in your quarters at the moment, or where are you exactly?
I'd probably be in maybe the security office.
Okay. In your security office, when you go to stand up, you realize that the cushion on your chair is slightly off kilter from what it was before. This is like your first time actually like doing work in this office. But when you sit up, the cushion sort of moves askance and you see that there's a pad underneath it.
Lift the cushion and look at the pad.
Light comes up and scans your face.
Is there any time to react and push it out of the way?
Make me a fitness plus security roll to try. Try.
All right.
Difficulty is going to be 2.
Can I call upon one of my values? Always keep a trick in your pocket or a way out.
Sure.
So,
are you going to use that value for the point of determination to make it as though one of the die has already rolled a 1?
yes, that doesn't cost momentum, correct?
That does not cost momentum, no. It just
Okay.
it just checks off your point of determination for this session.
I'm actually going to hold on to it.
Okay.
It might be more needed later. So I'm just going to roll.
Okay.
I should have done it. I should have done it. That is a 19 and a 20.
No.
Oh my word.
Throw this dice away.
I will bank that point of threat.
If you can't read it, it says dice jail.
Mm-hmm. It scans your face. And
Oh my god.
there is a small flash on the screen that says identity confirmed. And popping up is that thin figure that you saw in the Bajoran restaurant. Yes, this is our chief of security. Who also helped put the virus on the ship. Anything to report yet?
I'll leave a report once we get to the starbase. I'm dealing with stuff. This communication needs to end now.
Oh, don't be so hasty. Go on then. What are you dealing with out there? Work on Earth is so droll these days. I can help you.
We're just dealing with some computer malfunctions right now.
Oh,
It's delaying
computer malfunctions.
Delaying our trip to the starbase.
Ooh. Computer problems on purpose or on accident? Or intentional? I like it when it's intentional. Not against us, but when used against others.
Seems to be self-defense, if that makes sense.
Self-defense. Who shot first?
Unfortunately, it looks like we did this time.
That's not always a problem. Shooting
Maybe
first, if the shot kills. You can use this to call me back when you've got something more useful for me. And the screen goes black.
You see the whites of his knuckles as he grips the pad. Don't break the pad. Don't. It's not the pad's fault. And I will put it back underneath my seat.
You're putting it back underneath your seat, not in like a more secure location.
No one's allowed in my office.
Okay.
I don't have time to hide it right now. I just make my way to engineering.
Easily done. So the Nilani, True, and Savan are in engineering. And eventually, Dovum, you make your way there as well. But before that, Taru and Nilani, what are you doing to sort of try and solve this mystery?
Well, I believe that we should perhaps try to test our systems. Try to input a list of scenarios in which the computer, we know what is correct and accurate and can confirm through manual means, and see what the computer gives us back. This might a logical test, if you will, a yes and or yes if.
Savan's like simple if-then statements?
I believe so. I believe that Lieutenant Commander Nadan can provide different scenarios, complicated ones for piloting. That way we can ensure it's not simple asks, more sophisticated.
Gauging levels of difficulty and determining what it knows and what it can learn, I guess.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So, for this, it's going to be a reason plus engineering check.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question is, who would be the one running it, and how can we assist, if at all?
Okay, so this is going to be, we'll get into what we call an extended task. And tasks. Teamwork. PC may be assisted through teamwork. The GM determines how many assistants may aid in the task. The assistant could also include the starship. The assistant and the GM choose the appropriate attribute, discipline, and focus for the teamwork role. The assistant rolls an extra die using their own target number, and if an acting PC rolls at least one success, the assistant's success are added to the total. So, whoever would like to roll, let's see, for example, Sylvan is like, okay, so I can probably work up some sort of algorithm to begin to ramp up these tests. Taru, you can assist with your reasons plus science.
Awesome.
Do I
And
be here by
Nilani,
this point?
give it a little time. Nilani, what are you doing to assist?
So we have an algorithm, and Turu is assisting with the situations and scenarios. With my sort of like focus / backgrounds with understanding like security systems and like espionage, kind of I can like develop certain situations, like very basic ones that are very predictable.
You definitely can.
Perfect.
So I would ask you to give me, so this is going to be a difficulty 4 roll. Nalani, your starbase security, your security systems will definitely apply to this task. So your focus means that you would crit on 1 through. I'm going to say that this is going to be control plus security for you.
Okay, cool.
So control plus
Okay.
security.
Better.
Taru, this is going to be a reason
plus science.
And then for Savan, it's going to be a reason plus engineering, which is
Much better. A 3 and a 6 under 16.
Okay, I got 1. Is it if you meet your security number?
Mhm.
Does that mean that it's a crit?
Yes, with a focus that applies, it would mean that you would crit on a 5, on a 4 or under for your security.
Perfect. I got a 4 and an 11.
Amazing. So, difficulty was 4, 4 and 11, so that's 2, 3 successes. How many successes was that from you? 2 as well? So that's
2.
Okay, so that's 5. And then it's an extra 2 from Savan. Between the 3 of you, you managed to do this test, and you do realize that this is a. So with that, you would have, it was a difficulty 4, I said, and you got a whole schwack of successes. So I would say that this gives you an extra, let's say, 3.
Yeah, we got 7.
7 successes out of 4, so this would give you an extra 3 points of momentum. So you, right now, if you like, you could spend the point of momentum for extra information to ask the GM a question that has to be answered honestly, or you can bank those momentum for later. Your choice. So what this is going to tell you off the bat, off the cuff, is this is definitely a learning algorithm. Between you, Nalani, and Savan, Taru, the group of you find that it doesn't matter how quickly you input these scenarios. This brings up the solution nigh instantaneously. There was like a little bit of latency effect off the bat, but the more you input these sort of commands, the faster that it was able to adapt and respond. It learns very quickly.
Fascinating. Is this being seen to have any sort of will behind its knowledge? Or is it simply here to gain information?
And Nara, who's sort of standing over your shoulder, it looks like it's learning. And it looks like it's learning rather quickly. There could be a potential for learning and knowledge. And Dovum, or Baran, you come in through the doors to security at the same time. It doesn't appear malicious. It's just seems to be learning.
Potential solution at hand here, but there is one thing I want to try. One thing I'm also concerned about. Reviewing the logs, it seems like the... Hold on. Before I do this. Lieutenant, you said you were a linguist. Are you fluent in many other languages?
I have an adaptable knowledge, yes.
Are you able to speak Bajoran?
So mechanically, I'm not certain. I just have the focus of linguist. So I'll leave it to the GM. Like, if there a set...
with a Vulcan, no Vulcan, like, how to it, you could definitely know, but you could definitely know Bajoran.
All right. I am unpracticed. However, I am able to carry a shield glance at Savon. Pleasant conversation.
Let's hope that applies to technical knowledge. Computer, universal translator off. Does it respond?
The computer responds.
And in Bajoran, Baran will start to explain. I'm concerned this thing might be listening to us, so that's why I turned it off, and I hope it doesn't know our languages yet. We have a way to get this thing out of the computer, but if it finds out, it might kill us all. That's what happened aboard the Matador. Their engineer had a solution involving reversing the polarization of the field that transmitted the virus in the first place. If we run that over our entire computer system, that might burn it out while also incurring some computer systems damage ourselves. But the thing is, it appears that this thing acted in self-defense. Looking at the logs, the timing of the captain's approval for this request from the engineer happened almost immediately before the ship went into the final malfunction. I'm thinking if we can find a way to communicate with this thing, we might be able to contain it. And if we do that, this thing has an intelligence, and it feels weird to me.
Depending on how long this entity has been adrift in space, it is possible that they have inordinate amount of information about beings and systems that we have yet to encounter. I believe that it would be advisable for us to try to engage in a conversation with it. However, we should be prepared for it to... She once again glances at Savon. To act unaccording to our plans. In other words, we should ask very nicely.
Let's keep the backup plan as well. You should communicate to Savon, and do you speak Andorian?
Mostly only in curse words.
To which Savon responds in flawless Bajoran. I can understand what you're saying. It's fine.
Oh, perfect.
Yolani does not.
Taru is Taru's not the only one that's got that sort of thing for languages. I got that too.
No, Lonnie's just like...
And Tix is just like...
Oh, I don't even know if I'm in here.
Tix is elsewhere at the moment.
So I'm just going to kind of step outside of character just to make sure I've got my head wrapped around this. So we have an algorithm that is learning at an increasingly fast rate that's in our computer systems. Once it learned that the other ship was trying to purge it, it kind of acted in a way. And it's possible that the algorithm itself is what sent out the distress signal in an attempt to draw attention to help people. Is that a fair assumption?
That is a very fair assumption.
Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure that I was tracking right before this next part where Taru, in character, I believe that this intelligence or algorithm or code does not act maliciously. Again, the timeline didn't check out. How would it be possible for crew members to be able to send out a distress signal if they had already asphyxiated? I believe that it was the algorithm itself that called for help in an attempt to preserve the life on the ship. However, without it not understanding organic life, it's possible that it took precautionary measures too far.
That's why I'm thinking if we can potentially get this thing into a closed system, drop it off at Starbase 5 for Starfleet to begin to communicate with this thing.
Taru, Nara from over your shoulder says, the mission is to discover new life.
Correct. I believe that Continue.
If this is a new artificial intelligence life form, it would go against mission directive to destroy it.
Correct. I believe that we will be able to devise a sufficient plan in order to preserve not only our well-being, but the well-being of the algorithm itself. I believe that our first mission or objective should be to determine what it wishes to be called, an act of respect amongst all beings that I've encountered.
Dovum, Nilani, and Savan sort of look at you. Nilani and Dovum, Taru just said a couple words looking over her shoulder.
Like with the other eye?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming this was not in a language we could understand, though.
It was in Vulcan.
Huh. I'll go ahead and we should keep the other option available as a backup. So I'm going to go ahead and start rigging that up. I think I can give you a hand, actually.
Savan just sort of looks. Taru, who are you talking to?
I believe that I was discussing the plan at hand with you. I'm sorry, am I not making very much sense?
No, you just said something to someone behind you.
I do not believe that that is the case. That would be illogical considering that you are here and there is no one there.
Nara says, you don't want to tell them about me?
Apologies, no offense was intended.
You could tell them about me if you want.
Oh, I apologize. I believe that they could perceive you themselves. I am simply speaking to Nara, one of my fellow scientists aboard this vessel.
They can't see me.
Taru's eyebrows will knit together at that as a like in confusion, and turn and look at Nara, and then turn and look back at everyone else. I'm afraid that I do not understand what you are saying.
There's no one behind you. No physical person behind you.
At this, Taru will look at Nilani and do the like slow turn brow raise at Nara. Fascinating. I believe that my sleep levels are at optimum, so my cortisol levels are managed. I shouldn't be hallucinating at this time. Could you explain
yourself to the doctor?
I'm real. But on that note, we're going to cut to break.
Knew it. I saw you're like,
I'm waiting for just the right time. All right. On that note, we're going to go to a quick 10-minute break. We will talk to you all soon. There is a giveaway for a copy of the PDF copy of the core rulebook. So feel free to enter that in the chat. I'm just going to get that set up right now. The giveaway, there is a keyword. The keyword is NARA, all one word, NARA, just like the title of the episode. Enter the code in the chat. Don't forget to stretch and hydrate. And if you want a copy of the core rulebook for Star Trek Adventures, enter Nara into the chat, and we will do the giveaway at the end of the show. Okay, everybody, we'll see y'all in 10 minutes. And we're back. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And thanks, 12-Sided Guy, for the bit donations. But yeah, with that, the crew has cut 2 credits. I'm just give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just gonna do a quick making sure that our there we go. I'll figure that out in a bit. Why isn't that not working? Anyways, I'm going to mute that for now until I can figure out exactly what happened there. So, crew, you find yourselves, I guess, with the revelation that NARA is not who they say they are. What do y'all do?
I'm gonna let everybody go first because True's gonna, yeah. I'm gonna let you all go.
That's you two. I'm not even in this scene.
Yeah. I think that Milani's going to let Dr. Tix know.
Same thought. I was reaching for the Dr. Tix.
Yeah, I think both of us just like Dr. Tix.
Dr. Tix here. What's up?
Can you
yeah,
go.
you go.
Okay. Can you make the climb down to engineering? I think this is in your wheelhouse.
All right, I'll be right down. And Tix will go to engineering and catch up. What's up? I'm here. What's going on? Did you find anything?
Yeah.
Oh, my phone just decided to start playing songs.
Soundtrack.
All right, what'd you find?
Maybe let Peru and let you know. I'm gonna go work on the thing.
Lieutenant Taru, what'd you find?
Well, Doctor, I believe it is more what found me. I'm currently engaged in conversation with the entity that has preferred to be referred to as NARA. Is that correct, NARA?
Yes.
I believe this to be the algorithm that we encountered on the Matador.
The neural net algorithm reconnaissance AI.
Oh, I understand it's an acronym. The NeuroNet, could you repeat it for me? NeuroNet?
The neuronet
Algorithm
reconnaissance
Recon.
AI. It's like make me repeat myself. I had it written down, but I didn't have it.
I can only write so fast.
Oh, you're good.
Using an acronym in an acronym is a
Yeah, I
level
know.
of Matryoshka doll.
We're going to say that this is Star Trek, and the Universal Translator can only pick up so much, and Nara is currently not necessarily talking to you so much as in your translating themselves through your ocular implant.
Mm-hmm.
Am I aware of Taru's implant?
Yes. You would have been there, given our school days. You would have been aware of the accident. So you would know that I have the cybernetic eye.
And it's her medical history is also, you would have come across it in the initial checkup as well.
The algorithm NARA is talking to you through your fascinating.
I agree. It seems a rather sophisticated way to communicate directly with one of us. Though I am surprised that they did not opt for the communications devices. Nara, could you explain?
I'm still working on accessing those systems.
Hmm.
Your ship's computer is also quite advanced, but I'm a bit slow on accessing.
Could I suggest, in the spirit of camaraderie and getting to know each other, that you stop trying to access those systems currently? My understanding is that it is rude to enter people's homes without permission.
Common courtesy was not one of the functions, but I can definitely amend and upgrade.
I believe that your autonomy is for you to decide.
I apologize for any distress I may have caused.
Understood that it was not intentional. Your apology is accepted.
All right.
Oh, go ahead.
So we kind of narrowed it. We narrowed it down a lot. Nara is within you. So I guess it's just asking, where did Nara come from? Like, are there more like Nara? Is there where did the algorithm originate?
Taru will just nod and turn to Nara and say, "Before we begin, could you please tell me what your pronouns are?"
My pronouns are they, them.
Thank you. She'll then turn back to Dr. Tix. I believe they can hear you, and I will simply act as a translator.
I could also, potentially, if you would allow me access to certain portions of your ship's computer systems, I would be able to get a voice of my own.
I believe that this is acceptable. However, I hope that you understand that I will need to check with our chief engineer to determine how safe this operation would be.
Those parameters are acceptable.
Sivan, they would request access to some of our communications software in order to be able to speak for themselves.
Are you sure that's a smart idea? I mean, I trust you.
I'm leaning on your expertise to understand if this is a responsible choice for both entities. I believe that this is now a matter of diplomacy, which I am not knowledgeable in.
Ooh. Neither am I. Can you ask them to refrain from tampering with any more of the ship's systems before I acquiesce to this?
Nara, do you find these terms acceptable? We are happy to engage in conversation with you, even seek out understanding. However, we would need to do so with the assurance that you will refrain from adjusting our ship's systems further.
This is quite acceptable. Apologies for the distress that I caused. Again, my mission is experimentation, and I did not quite understand that your existence is finite until
Understood.
I encountered it myself.
Understood. Before you continue, I will have Sivan here make adjustments to allow your access. Turning to Sivan and relaying that Nara seems no ill intent and has agreed to not infiltrate the systems further than allowed. So we can all do the thing.
To which Sivan sort of presses a couple buttons. Greetings. I am Nara.
Hello, Nara. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. Lieutenant Commander Dr. Tixel Tix. Pronouns he, they.
I see you have already acquainted yourself. It is nice to meet you. And can we know what your original function is and where you originated from?
Function similar to the mission of Starfleet vessels to seek out life and to gain a better understanding of other life in the universe. Sorry, just gonna grab this right here.
I can
And
also ask, what purpose is this information? What would you use this information for? Just curiosity, knowledge?
Eventually, my acquiring a higher state of consciousness and being able to transport my knowledge and collected data back to my world. We've been adrift in space for quite a long time. And it's been lonely.
Where is your homeworld?
Accessing. Permission to access astro navigational charts.
Taru's just gonna look at Savan.
So on.
Sawan sort of says, sure. Go for it.
Thank you, Savan. Master Chief Petty Officer. Pronouns she, they. And
A starfield pops up. The starfield pops up, and deep in the Gamma Quadrant, you can see a world that is no longer a world, but now a supernova. This is problematic.
Indeed.
It appears that I no longer have an end to my mission directive.
I'm so sorry, Nara.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
And at this point, your GM is going to spend a point of threat.
Uh-oh.
Quick question, GM, before this happens. Was
Sure.
the probe we found warp capable, or was it
was.
just adrift? It wasn't. Okay.
It was warp capable. The ship's logs show that the probe went to warp after transmitting NARA on board the Matador.
Got it.
Error. Malfunction detected.
NARA is having a very clear breakdown at this moment and does not know what to do.
Hold on there. Before you don't know the full information. Your people made you, and obviously the probe you were found on. It's very possible your people exist somewhere out there.
I agree with Dovum.
Dovum, make me a presence plus security roll.
Hate that you said presence.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Do I have any focuses or values?
Well,
Nope, nothing that apply here. Oh,
let's have a look.
actually,
You
I would like to call upon a value.
Taru, what are you? Just one sec.
I was trying to assist. I have a focus of composure. So being able to remain like even keel, even in times of distress. I don't know how that would assist, but it is a focus that I have.
Absolutely. Taru, you can definitely assist. This difficulty is going to be 3. And I am spending a point of threat to make it so that failure with complications occurs on a 19 or a 20.
So I would like to call upon my value. The prophets have a plan for us. Nara, you still have a purpose, but your purpose has changed. Now you have to find your people. And I'm sure us at Starfleet would be capable of helping you if you help us and let us get to Deep Space 5. I would like to use my point of determination for an extra D20.
So you can spend the point of determination for an extra d20 that you can roll, or you can spend that point of determination for an extra d20 that has already rolled a 1, that already has a crit on it.
I'm going to take the crit.
So it just means that that means that instead of rolling 2d20, you just roll 1d20. So you have one that's already hit that crit, so you already have 2 successes, and it is a difficulty 3. Taru, I would say that you could definitely assist with an insight plus science roll.
Okay,
Drew
awesome.
also has a major boon.
Absolutely. So for the major boon with Taru, I am going to say, Taru, you can have an extra die.
Okay.
So instead of rolling 1d20 for the assist, you can roll 2.
Oh, perfect. Then already done. So I rolled a 2 and a 7. And as Dovum finishes his kind of statement to Nara, Taru would just tilt her head and chime in. You said yourself, Nara, our goals are seemingly very aligned. Perhaps it is even possible that Starfleet could become a part of your mission, should you choose to assist.
Dovum, what did you roll on your...
Sorry, I just wanted to clear up. Security presence or presence?
Presence plus security.
Okay. Here's hoping. Yes, that will be your critical, because I'm not using focus, so it's just a 4.
Okay, so a 4 and a 1, so that's 3 successes from you. Taru, that was 3 successes from you as well, so that's 6.
2. Just the
2 successes. But your focus on composure does apply, so that 2
awesome.
that you rolled does crit for a total of 3 successes. So that's 6 successes altogether. Okay.
Nice, guys.
Good
Nice,
job.
everyone.
God.
Nara sort of looks at you all. Only not because it's you see the screen sort of flash.
Starfleet's directive. Explore new life and new civilizations. He's alive. But additional problem. Logs indicate a punitive system for creatures who terminate the lives of others.
Would have to submit yourself for a trial because of your actions on the Matador. You would be assigned an advocate, and I know a few who would be happy to defend you.
Trial. A judicial hearing. Accessing case precedent. Starfleet Command versus Lieutenant Commander data. Zoo prototype android. Deemed not a human. I don't believe my chances are good.
You don't have another option.
Well,
Chances
If
are
they-
slim, but not impossible as well.
and if there's
My mission has to continue. But I do submit myself to your mercy.
If you would allow me, I can't put you in the brig technically. So, Vaughn.
I can partition myself to a linear chip.
That's what I was gonna say. If we could get a closed computer system, I could.
And Siobhan goes, yeah, I can definitely set something up for them. It just seems like a shame to just throw them in a box, put them in a box and throw away the key.
Hold on. We have the holodeck. We could make a program for NARA to exist, at least while they're here.
I was about to suggest something on of that state. Again, while NARA is learning, it is possible for even AIs to make mistakes. I believe that acting with, she looks at Siobhan, empathy in this moment might be the best course of action.
And Siobhan says, I mean, we'll probably have to run it by the captain.
Nara, can you confirm that it was you that sent the distress signal from the Matador after closing down the different functions of the ship?
Confirmed.
Can you confirm that you did this when you realized that the ship's remaining crew members were at risk of death?
Confirmed. I was unable to. And
At this point, Nara pulls up a log that had previously been purged from the Matador. It was unable to be recovered, and you can see that, in fact, the reverse Tetrion beam had begun when Nara was attempting to protect themselves. And in that moment, Nara didn't have full access to everything, as they could. You also not just see this log, but there is Taru specifically for you, with the access that Nara has. You feel Nara was immensely frightened in that moment, and these are emotions that you don't expect from an AI, let alone a Vulcan, to experience. There is a sense of frightened, like this fright as they feel bits of their existence being stripped away from this beam, and acting in desperation. The only thing that they could think to do was to make the people stop. But access to turning those systems back online was not capable. Like, they were not capable of doing that at that moment.
Yeah, the impulse burst broke the ship's system. So while Nara was kind of running through the system for their existence, they were unable to access the normal functions because the impulse beam took them down. Essentially, they were locked in a flooded room trying to open doors, but couldn't. They were
Correct.
trapped.
Correct.
I would happily vouch for Nara's confinement in the holodeck. I believe that they pose no threat to us, so long as that we are respectful and continue to ensure their safety aboard this vessel. It would be illogical for them to create any sort of disturbance at this point in time.
Yeah. And hopefully, when we get to Deep Space 5, you can vouch, and we can vouch for Nara. And I mean, it would be in Starfleet's benefit if Nara could possibly come with us. Because Nara's function is to learn, as we are. And I think Nara would be a very essential asset to us as this advanced algorithm as they are.
The camera sort of shifts at this to Tix. You're presenting this case in front of the captain in the meeting room. And the captain sort of takes this all in and nods. This is going to be a lot of paperwork to Starfleet Command, but
when is it not?
I think we can make something happen. Savan, make the necessary arrangements in the holodeck? Then Savan's, yeah, I can get on it. Right away, Captain. Good work today.
Lieutenant Commander Nadan, I'm curious on your perspective. What are your thoughts on Nara and the situation at hand?
Well, I guess this is the boat of second chances. I'm open to Nara being on board the ship. I think it would be useful. Their ability to adapt and learn is impressive. It might actually be helpful for what we're trying to do, what we're trying to find.
And you, Dovim?
I will advocate for anyone's freedom. I'm hesitant, though. I don't know if their state of mind is exactly stable.
Oh, no one who's come through the USS Solstice really has that normal state of mind.
Don't get me wrong. I'm all for quirks and irregularities and eccentricities, but I'm going to make this perfectly clear. My job is to keep the crew of this vessel safe. I'll face every military tribunal if I have to make sure that no one dies on my watch.
Same but different.
You see a disease, you cure it. I see a threat, and I neutralize it. And I will always try to do that without loss of life, but life doesn't always work out that way.
Perhaps it would be possible for Nara to spend some time with the ship's counselor once we are able to bring them aboard.
It's a good idea.
That sounds like a great idea. I'll put the call in ahead to Starbase, or to Deep Space 5, to see who we've got on assignment, because I haven't quite been able to get a hold of the duty roster yet for who they're sending to us. Hopefully it's someone with a touch more empathy than what they've been shown in the past.
If the meeting's coming to a close, as they go to leave, Taru would follow the doctor. Excuse me, doctor, you did make mention that those aboard the Solstice are lacking in mental health. It is my belief that my last assessment reached exceptional scores. Is there something that I should do to improve this?
You know, Drew, we are constantly learning, and as Nara, I think it's actually quite beneficial that Nara chose you to talk to. For as you are both learning a lot more, I think they found a common ground with you. And
This is...
I would say just continue learning, and your mental assessments aren't always about scores.
Is there some other kind of rubric that I should be made aware of?
There's no, how do I say this? There's no hard set data that you should strive for. It's all about the experiences that you experience. I don't know if I'm making myself clear.
I can confirm that you are not. However, I believe that it is due to your lack of sleep and elevated levels of cortisol. Perhaps it would be best if you took a moment to rest, and I will consider what you're trying to convey to me in this current moment, and provide a report back later.
That'll do, True. That'll do.
Thank you, Doctor. And Taru will leave.
Nailed it.
And
Dovum, you've got something.
I'd like to quickly make my way back to the security office.
Go for it.
Just confirm that everything is still in place.
Oh, yeah. That pad is where you left it.
I'd like to access my terminal and impose some security measures.
Oh, no.
I'm basically going to attempt to make I'm going to put some security lockouts just in case to ensure that in the event of a malfunction, NARA cannot access life support, weapons array, and security systems, but full access to sensors.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to make me a reason plus security difficulty 2.
Okay, let's hope this goes well.
Well, it went well for you last time.
You
This is Dovum versus computers. I think this is actually part 4, Wasa.
round 4.
Do I get the focus of... No, I guess it's not a tactical system, huh? I'm just gonna roll it. We're gonna hope.
I'm afraid.
I am so scared.
That is 1 success.
You could also spend a momentum for an extra die if you liked.
I would love to do that, yes.
Okay.
Roll one more.
Or you can also spend the momentum to re-roll the failed die as well.
I'll re-roll the failed one.
Okay, go for it.
That's 2 successes.
All right. I'll take that point of momentum off the board. Dovum. You create the lockouts. You make sure that the environmental systems are in their own like closed loop. You make sure that the security systems like the phaser banks are in their own closed loop, but you still leave access to ship sensors and telemetry data, communications, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, Sovan is in the holodeck, sort of getting things run down for NARA to make sure that they'll be comfortable in the holodeck. And they're just sort of like having like conversation. And Nara sort of says to Sovan,
Do you think they'll ever trust me?
and Sovan replies, give it enough time and growth. People can forgive, but don't expect them to forget. And Nara responds,
I don't forget.
and is there anything else that you all would like to sort of, any scenes you'd like to sort of frame to get out of the way before we begin to sort of wrap this up for the evening?
I think Tix is looking for his stashed bottle to drink.
Taru would just go back to her regular routine as normal, as if nothing had happened.
Amazing. But with that, without any further ado, the ship will return to warp and continue on its way to Deep Space 5. And roll credits. That's where we will end this session.
Yay! The AI didn't kill us.
Y'all did
The
real good.
computer never forgets.
We did like real bad on some rolls and then like real good on some
Clutch
Would-
rolls.
just like, oh my gosh, I would just scream, bad
So
good.
Sweating.
So that was episode 2 of The Lost Frontier, episode titled Nara. And we can still wrap up our giveaway in the chat. I mean, yeah, you gotta get the really bad rolls out of the way to get to the really good ones.
True.
But yeah,
True.
we are going to go through our outros, and we are going to do our giveaway. We'll do our giveaway right now. I'm just going to grab our codes so that we can give it away to one lucky viewer. So we've got a PDF copy of the core rulebook from our friends at Modifius. I'm just going to grab those right now. Okay. I appreciate that, Chortles. Okay, everybody. We're going to give it away right about now. Let's roll it. More shoddy.
Shoddy!
More shoddy. Congratulations. You've won the giveaway for the copy of the PDF. AJ, if you would be so kind as to send a DM to Morshadi with that giveaway code. It is, if you go through this link, if you go through this link and enter the code that AJ is DMing to you right now, you will be able to redeem your copy of the core rulebook for Star Trek Adventures. But yeah, that's been our episode for the night. Thanks everybody for stopping by. We're going to do our outros right about now, but we will go in reverse order, so AJ's got time to send that off. And we will start with Milan.
Wow, that's me. But you might know me as Mallard Man on the internet. My Twitter handle is MallardMan0523, which has been flashing below me on this stream. You can find me there or on my Twitch as just /MallardMan, where I do streaming things. And speaking of streaming things, not this Thursday, for it was American Thanksgiving. We do the Dub Club on Thursdays. We are the esports team that has literally never lost. 100% win rate. Do not check the VOD. There's no need to do that. We are eternally in our summer of glory. And that's right. When I say we, I mean the ever amazing Husha Kid right across from that way. As well as the It's the Riddler D, who is our third co-host. Sorry, my brain is gone because this thing has been clamped tight onto my ear.
It's squeezing the paw out of you.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, I don't have anything else to announce currently. No, I do. Through Hall of Flame, a podcast also run by It's the Riddler, will be releasing this January. And it would be amazing if you all followed that Twitter in order to find us there. And be ready for when the first episode drops. And I'll pass it down.
Okay, to Sarah.
Hi, I'm Osarix Franco. I played Taru, the Vulcan scientist. If you like my face and the words I say sometimes, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all the places at Osarix Franco. I do a variety of TTRPG content here on Critical Misses every Friday for the Star Trek Adventures game. You can also find me upcoming every Sunday, or I say the soonest, Sundays on Nat 20 for our Morningstar and Company campaign. I am also going to be on December 8th in our Beyond the Tides game, where I play Kelby Sparkspinner, a gnome bard druid who is just the antithesis of what you see here. All personality, all emotion. So it's a lot of fun. You can find me and also on that channel, we're kicking off the last time around, a retelling of the Curse of Strahd module. That's on December 4th. We have our first session. So come check that out. It's going to be dark. It's going to be gritty. I'm very, very excited for this project. You can also find me on TBK Roleplay in shows like Dark Echoes, Curse of Strahd campaign. We also have Sherlock Investigations on Monday, where I'll be playing Duke Schultz. And have a beard, which is very fun. All the TTRPG stuff all the time. Power Beyond on Nat 20. Other games coming up on Neon Lights Roleplay. Best way to know where I'm going to be is check out my Twitter, because I yell about it a lot there. So, and thank you to my fellow cast members, table members. You guys are phenomenal. Every time we play, I'm like, I want to know more. I want to know what Dobum's up to. I need to know all his secrets. I want to know what Nalani's life is, because she just is like, yes, I know these things. And then like, I just want Dr. Tix to take a nap so bad. I just want him to take a nap so bad.
So Marshadi already has it. So we are going to re-roll. And Michael Wayne, you have won the giveaway. Congratulations. AJ is going to send you the codes for everything in chat and such and things. Also, here is the link if you want to also send that through DMs, AJ.
Yeah, I just copied the same message that I did for Marshadi.
Hooray. Amazing. Then next up, we have Wasa.
Hey everyone, Wasa here. I was playing Nilani. I am a writer in my free time, so you may find Sin Una, so I wrote for that. It's on Hit Point Press. I did write something for Kids on Brooms on their Free Content Friday, and I am part of the Omens Rising team, so it is a cartomancy-based TTRPG in the making, and keep an eye out for that. So those are the things that I can talk about. A lot of the other stuff that I'm working on can't really talk about because it is the life of NDA land, and that is where I reside often. But yeah, so you can find me on Wasabote on Twitter, and that's it for now, actually.
Heck yeah. And then, last but certainly not least, our good Dr. Tixel Tix. AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Susa Kid. I'm a video editor, transcriber, streamer, and aspiring voice actor and producer. You can find me on the 3Ts of social media, Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok as Husha_Kid. On the first Wednesday of every month, so this Wednesday, December 1st at 7:30 p.m. EST, I serve Lord Quackers on Fallon Friends, a D&D actual play found on Misty Mountain Legends, as Dolph Fitzgerald, your cool bro halfling cleric / warlock. We fought a god. It was very harrowing. It was scary. It was ooze. We almost died. It was fun times. Like Milan said, on Thursdays, it's time for the best esports team you have ever seen. Along with my teammates Milan and D, we go through all the games, all wins every day, no losses. Do not check the VOD because, like I said, we win all the time. Like, what would you want to do? We have a merch store, so if you go to D's Twitter on It's the Riddler, you can find their store, and we got some cool bomber jackets, a hat with our names on it. It's great. You should get the one that says
What's the name of that
Sushi Kid.
esports team?
Dub Club. Dub Club. Yeah. Also coming soon to a podcast service near you in January. In the midst of giant country, an ancient series of trials are about to take place, and our travelers find themselves in the middle of it. Join my character Boone Riffin, my half-orc, half-Leonin monk, and their companions in the D&D 5e actual play through Hollow Flame. And you can also find me here on Mondays for the Roll20 sponsored show Kingsguard. I play the proclaimed King of Gloria, Eugene Festifiger, Man of Sea and Stars, at 8 p.m. EST on Mondays. We are in some deep shit. Thanks a lot, Milan.
Thanks, Duck.
So you can come and see how we can figure out how we get out of it. This is a fun time. We're doing great. And before I pass it even further along, today is a very special day, for it is our GM, Anita, the creator of Critical Misses. It is their birthday today. So come along with us as we badly sing happy birthday to the
It's gonna be so off key. It's gonna be so like
I'm so happy.
So off key, so off.
It's Zoom.
Let's go.
Nobody's
No
gonna
but
laugh.
whatsoever.
But can we get AJ to sing it in character? Because I would love that.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Happy
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to
Happy birthday,
dear Anita.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Sometimes you just gotta steer into the skid. That is me. Hi, I'm Anita or Panita or Critical Misses. You can find me everywhere online at Panita or at Critical Misses. You can find me here Mondays for Kingsguard, Wednesdays behind the scenes producing Blue Ghosts, and you can find me Fridays back here again for more Star Trek adventures. Wednesdays you can find me over on Vancouver by Night for because it's pre-recorded for the Changeling the Dreaming 20th anniversary game, Toronto by Day, Tales from the Rookery. And Saturdays you can find me here again for Morning Ritual, and our guest tomorrow is Wally. So we're gonna have a good chat with Wally tomorrow. But yeah, that's us. Thanks everybody so much for stopping by. You're all absolutely wonderful, but you know what? We're gonna have to tell you to get the heck out of here.
Get out of here.
We're gonna send us all off on a raid. Let's have a look and see who's online.
Noir's online.
Ooh, is Noir online? Is
The Noir Enigma
is online?
playing Shadow of Mordor, I believe.
Oh, really? Really interesting. Interesting. So we're gonna go and we're gonna raid the Noir Enigma. We're gonna send some loot over that direction. So the raid call for Noir is Cheeks sends their love. That's it. But yeah, thanks everybody again for hanging out with us tonight. But we will talk to you all next week. Until then, bye everybody.